Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Namaskar, I'm Devdip Purkayastha from the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. Welcome to my course, Business Fundamentals for Entrepreneurs. This is actually a bonus module, and I want to share with you something which I call the quadrangle of success. Quadrangle means 4 parts. Before I get into the quadrangle, how did I arrive at some of these thoughts? Over the last almost 40 years, I've spent almost 30 years in some of the world's best companies, and I'm spending almost 10 years with India's best institution, Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. And in the last almost 40 years, I've interacted with thousands of working professionals in my corporate career and thousands of students in my faculty career. And of course, with a lot of entrepreneurs and faculty members themselves. So I've tried to reflect on what are the key drivers of success as I observed some of whom I interacted with being very, very successful, some being successful, and some underperforming, which means that they are successful, but they could have been much more successful. And based on that, I thought that I will share my thoughts with you. So what is the quadrangle of success? Think of it like this, that if you are sitting on a chair of success and you want to be strongly settled and ensure that you are ready for continuing success, your chair will probably need 4 legs. If you've got a 4-leg chair, you will be very stable. Now think of someone else who is not sitting on a 4-legged chair. He's sitting on, or he or she is sitting on a 3-legged chair. 4th leg is missing. Chances are he will not be as successful as you. Now think of someone who's sitting on a 2-legged chair or a 1-legged chair. Chances are he will not be able to sit at all, which means he will not be able to succeed. So the quadrangle of success, think of it like a 4 pillars or 4 legs of the chair of success. So what are the 4 legs? The first is knowledge. The second is skills. I will give you some examples in a while, but the difference between knowledge and skills broadly is that knowledge is theoretical. It's in the mind. Skills is practical, something which you can do. Other 2 legs, one of them is called attitude. And the final one is called energies. We'll get into examples in a while, but let's say you are a person with enormous knowledge, but you don't have skills. I mean, you can write a thesis on swimming, a paper, a publication, a journal, a book on swimming, but you cannot swim. So you don't have the skill, though you have the knowledge. Think about how successful will you be in the world of swimming. Now let's say you've got the knowledge and the skills. You have studied swimming, you've got all the knowledge, you've written books, you've read books, you have watched the videos, and you can swim. But you don't have the energy, you don't have the stamina. You cannot swim for long. You'll get tired after swimming 25 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters. So you'll not be the world's best swimmer. So you need knowledge, skills, and energies. And then the attitude. Imagine if you've got all of that, but your attitude is not very confident. You always have a doubt in your mind. Can I really be the world's best swimmer? Then you've got 3 legs. You don't have the attitude. But imagine if you know the theory of swimming, you have the skills of swimming, you have the stamina to swim long and fast, and you've got the attitude of a winner. You've got the 4 chairs. You can be the world's best swimmer. And that is what I call the quadrangle of success. Let's deep dive into some examples of each of those chairs. First, as I said, is knowledge. Knowledge and awareness go hand in hand. What is knowledge? Knowledge is about what you read in the books, the exams, the courses, schools, college, videos, online and offline courses. That's knowledge. Knowledge can be humanities, science, or arts, commerce, technical, accounting, medical. These are knowledge. It's all in the mind or the brains. Awareness is also similar to knowledge. It's in the mind or in the brains, but it is all about being aware of what's going on. You cannot be so knowledge engrossed that you're not even aware of what's going on, the opportunities pass you by. I've seen a lot of very good people not be aware when the opportunity is there and miss out on that opportunity. Also, you need to be aware of yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are the opportunities in the external world, in the company, for a scholarship, for a faculty position, a chair professorship, for a promotion? Being aware of what are the trends, technology trends, social trends, economic trends. It's a very simple example. If you are a tourist and you know a lot, but you're not aware that there is a war going on, let's say Russia and Ukraine, and you go as a tourist to Ukraine or Russia, you will not have a good trip because you have not been aware of geopolitics. So knowledge and awareness goes hand in hand. A lot of students, especially bright, brilliant students, scholars, researchers, they overweight themselves with knowledge and awareness, primarily knowledge. And they think if I'm a good student, I will succeed in life, in business. And that is probably incorrect. You may, if you're in a purely knowledge-driven business, like a faculty or R&D, maybe you can succeed. Chances are you will not. Similarly, if you're not aware of your strengths and weaknesses, surely you will not succeed in the long term. So that's about what's in the mind, what's in the brain. Now we come to skills, your ability to do things. The ability to swim versus understanding the theory of swimming. And in skills, there are hard and soft skills. Hard skills, especially if you're a student, all of you will have. Coding, electrical engineering, mathematics, statistics, physics, chemistry. Going to the lab and doing experiments, writing a program, accounting, prepare a financial statement, doing data analysis. These are hard skills. But a lot of people fail because they don't have the soft skills. The ability to influence and work with others. And the soft skills are communication. You may know a lot, you may be able to do a lot, but you cannot communicate. Then that's a drawback and become a barrier to your career. So communication, adaptability, If you're working in a team, adapting to the team, if you're in a different culture, if you're an Indian going to US or to Russia or to Japan or China, to adapt to local cultures, local norms, situations, to be able to negotiate and engage with others, to be able to solve a problem when you face a problem without getting flustered, are soft skills. Manage your time, most of all. These are soft skills. You can be a great project manager, but you can't manage your own time. You may be the most knowledgeable person, but you can't manage your own time, missing deadline after deadline. You will fail sooner or later. So these are the skills. The ability to do and deliver. So we talked about knowing, doing, delivering. And now we come to attitude and behavior. And in attitude and behavior, there is personal, interpersonal. How do you approach life? Personally, are you calm? Are you thoughtful? Or are you always excited? Stressed out? Nervous? Do you show energy? So these are your personal traits, and there's some more. These are all indicative. Interpersonal, when you're with someone, how are your interpersonal skills? Are you honest? Because people don't trust dishonest people. Sooner or later, you'll get caught out. Are you helpful, friendly and sympathetic? Do people like you? Do people like to work with you? Do people like to be your subordinate or your student or your colleague? Do people want to hire you? Do others want to spend time with you? Are you communicative and collaborative? And in the business world and in real life, this attitude and behavior is also very important. It's not enough just to know knowledge and be able to do skills, but you need to have the right attitude and behavior. You also need to be calm and positive, optimistic. If you're always pessimistic, which means you think negative all the time, it will start showing up in your external behavior. So if you have a negative attitude, chances are you'll have a negative behavior. So these are the attributes that you may wish to develop. And the last part of it is energy and stamina. How far can you go? Because a career is not about one semester, one term, or 1 year, or 2 years, 3 years. It will probably be 40 or 50 years. Whichever career you choose, entrepreneurship, faculty, working professionals in a company and so on, army, politicians, you need energy and stamina. There are 4 kinds of energies. One is physical. The resilience to keep doing physically what you need to do. If you don't have the physical energy because for whatever reason, the dietary habits or lack of exercise, etc., sooner or later it will show up in your real life or your career. So take care of your physical health. The flip side of physical health is mental health. And the important thing is to build your mental energy and your mental stamina to be able to focus, to be able to concentrate, to able to use logical thinking, critical thinking, to be able to come up with creative solutions and answers. So the physical and the mental energies and staminas go hand in hand. And these need to last you, these energies and stamina need to last you for decades, because your career will be in decades, not in semesters or months or terms or years. It will be in decades. There are two other staminas which are extremely important. One is emotional, one is spiritual. Emotional is internally, to be emotionally calm, at peace, building trust with others, a forgiving attitude. There will be wrongs in the world. A lot of people will wrong you. You need to be on guard and make sure that you are not exploited. But if you carry your anger or your hatred for a very long time against different people, it'll burn you up from inside. So you have to have probably a forgiving nature without being foolish, of course, without others taking advantage of you. Patience. In school, for example, a class changes every year. In engineering, many of the colleges, the subjects change every semester or every trimester. A graduate course is 3 years. An engineering course may be 4 years. A PhD may be 5 years. An MTech may be 2 years. But a career may be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You may be in the same role for 10 years, but you do more and more things, better and better things, faster and faster things, create more impact. But for that you need stamina and the emotional energy to stay with it. And the last thing is spiritual. Spiritual is not necessarily about religion, which is very personal choice. So this is not only about religion or God, etc. This is about being focused on a greater purpose in your life. So the purpose cannot just be, let's say, making money or promotions or the job or buying something. It's fine to do all of that, but there has to be a greater purpose in life which keeps you going. Faith in the universe, faith in the world. Though there you see a lot of wrong things, maybe not satisfactory things, maybe things that you don't like. It's a very complex world out there. But to keep the faith in the universe, in the world, in society is extremely important. Gratitude for everything that you have. Mindfulness, instead of worrying about the past and being scared about the future, to be able to enjoy now, this minute, this second, and to perform your best, do your best in this minute, this second, is mindfulness. Living in harmony and having inner peace. These are all the spiritual energies and staminas that will help you succeed in the very long term. Because the life expectancy will keep going up and up and up. And some of you who are watching this video may have a life expectancy of 100 years or maybe 110 years or 120 years because of improvements in medical science. So you may have another 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years. Some of you may have 100 years ahead of you. You need to succeed in the next 100 years in the real life, in your career. And hopefully sitting on the quadrangle of success, sitting on the chair of success with 4 strong pillars that I shared will help you succeed and be happy and be satisfied over the next, as I said, up to 100 years of your lives. So I wish you the very best in your careers, in your lives. Good luck. Thank you. Namaskar.